I can't think of anything that would be more disruptive to the gold market than what has been claimed out of China. Apparently, they say that they have found the world's largest gold deposit. We'll talk about the ramifications of this, if true, and so much more as we explore. Now, this story should be met with a healthy level of skepticism, but I think it's worth reporting on because several news agencies have talked about it. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about how you can take advantage of some great deals on gold and other precious metals from my friends over at summitmetals.com. You see their Black Friday sales that a lot of that is still on, but we have Cyber Monday coming up here, and they've got some really good deals you should check out. The Vortex bar from Scottsdale Mint, as well as their stackers, good stuff, and the rounds and bars here, as well as these 20-ounce Kit Kats. I have one of those, very nice, and the gold prepper bar. So check out summitmetals.com, a great place to get your gold and silver at a great deal for Cyber Monday. Now, when we think of gold, we think about that it's the fact that it's rare. So there's a story by Newsweek. Several members of the community have shared with me some links from different outlets now that are reporting on this. And I originally kind of just brushed it off and wasn't going to do a video on this, but more news agencies have picked this up, and it's worth talking about it, even when some of the big players and the major media sources are doing it. But there could be essentially a psychological element to this that I think we should keep in mind. China believes it has found the world's biggest gold deposit, with reserve estimates to be worth more than $80 billion. Chinese state media said that a gold ore deposit site with supposed reserves of more than 1,000 tons at a depth of 2,000 meters had been located in the Wangwu gold field in Pyongyang County in central Hunan province. And Newsweek was unable to independently verify the report. Well, our first clue is Chinese state media. Yeah, that's right. I think that should be our first clue that we should treat this with a healthy level of skepticism. The gold field at Pyongyang County is said to be valued at 600 billion yuan, or $83 billion, according to state outlet Xinhua News. The largest gold reserves is found in the South Deep gold mine in Gauteng province in South Africa, which holds around 930 metric tons of gold. The Hunan Academy of Geology said workers found more than 40 gold ore veins at a depth of more than 2,000 meters at Wangwu. More than 300 tons of gold reserve was found in the mine's core area, and that metric ton of ore could yield as much as 130 grams of gold. So that's a pretty good resort for that amount in that area. But the thing is that this type of news coming from this state agency, we don't even know if any of it is true. There has been some claims in the past that has about a whole lot of gold stored in China. And there were some pictures that were shown, and even the pictures looked kind of shady, or I had a very high level of skepticism. It turns out that story was not true, and that was reported by several media outlets. Why would Newsweek pick up something on this when it's not been independently verified and knowing it comes from state media? Well, again, mainstream media, and more mainstream media sources are picking up this story. That should be your second clue as to whether we should take it into account or not. A gold vein refers to a geological formation where gold is concentrated within a crack in an underground rock. The veins are formed through hypothermal processes where hot, mineral-rich fluids move through cracks in the Earth's crust. Many drilled rock cores showed visible gold, said Chen Rulin, a ore prospecting expert in the Geological Bureau of Hunan Province. And here we can see workers in a gold mine about 600 meters deep in China back in 2012. And so that's where that stock photo there showing that. And we know China is the world's largest producer of gold, so that maybe is bringing why this story very well could have some legs. We'll see. But again, right now, nothing's been verified. Yu Youngjun, vice head of the bureaus, said that the advanced 3D geological modeling was used at Wangu Goldfield to estimate that around 1,000 tons of gold reserves may go down as far as 3,000 meters at the site. The Hunan Provincial Geological Institute classified the discovery as a massive reserve, reported according to the South China Morning Post. And if this is true, well, this could be a game changer for the gold market for sure, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. In a statement, the Institute also claimed that the find was significant in helping safeguard the country's resource security. China is already the largest producer of gold in the world, accounting for around 10% of global output in 2023, according to Reuters, and that is data that comes from the World Gold Council. The Wangu goldfield in particular is of major importance to China's gold mining economy. That's another thing that maybe there might be some credence to the story, since it's already an established area where they've been mining gold. But this massive discovery on top of an area that's already being mined, and where there has been a proof that they have been able to provide gold, and resulted from this, well, there could be something to this. More than 100 million yuan, about $13 million, have been invested in the area for mineral exploration since 2020. That's a lot. And so if that is, that's according to the South China Morning Post, and I don't know if that's a state agency or a state-run media, likely probably is. So we don't know how true that is either. And Goldman Sachs Group, they had made a forecast of that gold will reach $3,000 an ounce by the end of next year. I think they've since scaled that back, and but I think that if this find is done, well, gold very well could fall in price if this is verified, independently verified, that much gold is out there. How much will be mined? How much will be held on to? How much will be sold to people within the country and exported around the world? It's a lot of gold that could be potentially, so we'll find out. But the one thing is for sure, gold is rare, but it'll be a little less rare if this story indeed turns out to be true, and that could rock the gold market in a negative way in terms of prices. When you think about it, how easy is it to get gold if you've got the money? Really easy. And just like silver, there's no shortage of gold to be bought in physical form by you and I. Most gold is treasured. I think about 80% of it is treasured. The rest of it is used for other applications. And by the way, when I say treasured, held by central banks and I guess to some extent some bullion form or what have you, but very little of it really is used in industry, science, and technology, namely because of its expense. There are some applications where gold is the only metal that is used, especially in space, because it needs to be reliant and dependable in that regard and not show any signs of tarnishing. And of course, gold does not react to the elements. It stays in the same condition no matter what throughout the lifespan of the metal. You ask anybody who's dug anything out of the ground, that is from ancient times, and those gold coins stay true to form and look like they were the moment that they were buried. So that gives you some insight and the differences of what gold means. It really is a special metal in that way. And so this large discovery that has been made here, potentially made here, very well could be this game changer. But again, there's been reports that have come out of China where nothing comes of it. And this could be one of those situations and cases as well. We may never hear about this story again because, well, it just turned out to be fake news. God, can you imagine that? Fake news where Newsweek reports from it, gives it credence, even though was unable to independently verify the report. This is supposed to be a news agency. Why would they repeat this? But there's other stories. This is why I'm talking about it, because this video serves as a dual purpose. There's a possibility it could be true, and if it is, well, then they're early on the news, and I think that's what a lot of media do, is they want to grapple stories or take hold of them with the hope maybe there'll be some truth with it, so they can say that they're one of the first to report on it. And this is one of those stories that has been reported wide enough now that I guess I am now giving attention to it, but more or less to kind of make these points that if it's not true, well, we'll just not hear about it anymore. Number one. Number two, if it is true, it will have a profound effect on the gold market. No question about that. Of course, it depends on where all that gold goes. If China decides to hold on to that gold, I still think it'll have an effect on the price because it's gold that won't enter the market, so therefore no harm, no foul. And prices may stay kind of the same where they're at. If they were smart, that's what they would do to dramatically increase their gold reserves. But, we'll see here. World's biggest gold deposits. And then the other thing about this is how long will it take them to extract that gold? That's another aspect of the story, too, that we really don't know. How long it would take. We have, talking about, these 40 gold ore veins at a depth of more than 2,000 meters. That's pretty far down. It's going to take quite a while to get all of that gold out. So we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, just thought I'd share this story with you. Gold certainly is a metal that has intrigued us, and it just may be a little less rare if the story bears out to be true. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.